Well, hello there everyone. So today I want to talk to you about this. I'd like you to imagine that you're on the beach and you're looking out to sea and everything's fine, and all of a sudden you notice there's something ahead and it's huge and it's moving towards you at a very rapid rate indeed. And you can see that what is about to happen is that you and everything around you and all the people next to you are about to be engulfed in a tidal wave, which is going to destroy everything in its path. And that's what I'd like you to hold in your awareness as I talk about our subject today. The way it works with me is that the people that come to me with the problems and the issues they've got, that provides is I work with. So since last September, so I've now been researching this for a year. I've been researching the subject of cognitive decline, dementia and Alzheimer's. And this image of the tidal wave is the most accurate picture I can give you about what's actually going on at the moment in the so-called developed countries. More and more people are dying of Alzheimer's, dementia and cognitive disorders, and it's now reached the point this 1 in 8. Yeah, 1 in 8 people are predicted to die from this experience of cognitive decline, which is literally losing your ability to function, to think, to process information, to the point where you end up in a care home and die. So that's what I'm talking about. And because this is what I've been tracking with my mother and I've done so much research about it, I feel this is what I want to address. So having done my research, this is what I've discovered. There are primarily 3 things that's going on which is causing this. The first one is food, diet, nutrition, what people are choosing to consume. And there's absolutely no question that refined sugar and a junk food diet is a major cause of cognitive decline. And that can be understood because what happens in the brain when you get these degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, dementia, what happens, you get this stuff called amyloid plaque, and it basically gets laid down in the brain, and it means that more and more areas of the brain are unable to function the way they're supposed to. So it's literally like a shutting down process that happens. Very alarming and very scary to watch in other people and to experience the beginnings of the signs of in oneself. So pretty full on subject this, isn't it? Yeah. And the second one, which is a very cultural thing, which is to do with the extent to which you feel you're part of a community, that you have social interactions, that you are valued, that you are connected with others. This is the second really major factor in our modern culture. Has actually caused a huge amount of alienation and perhaps more loneliness than has ever been experienced by any other culture previously. So this is the second major contributor, loneliness and isolation. And then the third one is something to get up for each morning, something that inspires you, something that interests you, something you want to learn, something you want to study, something you want to research. This seems the third factor. In other words, it's really to the extent to which you use your cognition, your brain, your faculties. So a person who loses interest in everything is in, I would argue, perhaps the greatest danger of succumbing to these degenerative diseases, which implies that one of the best things you can do is to be a person who's interested in yourself, in other people, in your environment, in the bigger picture. So these are the 3 factors which seem to be incredibly important: diet, socialization and interest in life. Therefore, the friend of Alzheimer's and dementia is boredom. The ally of such horrific diseases is lack of interest in anything. So what I've done really is I've just begun to sketch out the beginning of what I find to be a compelling subject. For so many years studying nutrition and health, the focus was always on the body. It was always on the body, perhaps the different organs, the heart, the liver, the skin, whatever. But the mind, the brain was never mentioned. Well, in the last few years I've really made up for that. So that's about as far as I want to go, except I am just being instructed to add something else to this picture, which is perhaps a fourth link. And this explains the thing about the junk food, because there's this important connection between the gut and the brain, which has only been known of fairly recently and is now recognised to be an absolutely established fact. What's going on in the gut affects the brain, what's going on in the brain affects the gut. So if the gut is healthy, this is good for the brain. So therefore, if the gut is unhealthy, most obvious example of that would be obesity, or any of the gut related diseases like irritable bowel, diverticulitis, Crohn's disease. Any degenerative disease of the gut is also going to have a horrific impact on the functioning of the mind. So there's the fourth thing, which links us right up to the beginning, which is the food, the diet, what we're choosing to take in. So yeah, we really have reached the end of part one. And in part two, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be giving you all the advice you need to know to make sure that your life doesn't end up the way so many people's lives are going, which was a degenerative disease whereby they're unable to function. I can honestly say that when it comes to a way to go, losing one's mind must be one of the worst. Well, it's time for me to enjoy some sea. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.